This is the Franchise Basketball Insider, presented by Massengale Eye Care, providing comprehensive eye care since 1989.
Greetings, Thunder fans. Welcome to the special edition of the Basketball Insider here on 107.7 The Franchise. I'm joined by Zach McCright of the Zach McCright Show featuring Todd Lisenby. Today, Cameron Payne was introduced as the newest member of the Oklahoma City Thunder at a press conference here at Devon Tower in downtown Oklahoma City. Zach, your first impressions?
You know, there's a lot of times when we meet people for the first time, meet athletes for the first time, where their humility and their happiness doesn't feel genuine. And I really thought today that kid put a smile on my face, and I think put a smile on your face. And I have no idea how well his game will translate to the NBA. I think it might translate well, but I do know that this kid is genuinely excited to be here. This is not an act. He has got a lot of humility and a lot of genuity that I think will translate very well to, how hardcore the fans are here. It will translate very well to them.
All right, fans, we'll let you decide if he puts a smile on your face, because we're going to hear from Sam Presti and Cameron Payne and Thunder new head basketball coach Billy Donovan.
We thought, as we were looking at players for this draft, we had to think about someone that would be a great fit, not only for our team, our organization, and our community, but that had the right makeup to come into the stage of the team that we're in right now. Someone that had competitiveness, a real strong base of character, someone that would be able to bring a competitive work ethic day in and day out. And the more people we talked to, the more time we spent watching and evaluating, Cameron became a real player of interest for us. As a player, obviously most people know him. He's incredibly cerebral. He understands space on the floor. He understands angles. He understands time. All of these things that are really hard to teach. He has those things kind of intuitively. As a person, he was equally impressive to us. We did an incredible amount of background work on him, and the base of character that he has from his family is very impressive. And the fact that he's been incredibly consistent with who he has been, one of the things we've talked about this, he has no assumptions. He doesn't feel entitled to anything. He's had to work for everything that he's had, but most importantly, if you speak to people that have known him throughout his life, he's the same guy. So the fact that he's enjoyed a rapid ascent hasn't changed him at all. And we think that's an incredibly attractive piece to this player because that's going to be another piece of the foundation that he begins with as he tries to take the next step in his professional basketball career. And one side note I think that really helped in this process for us is he had the opportunity to spend about a day and a half in Oklahoma City because he had time in between our visit and the next one. And we spent a lot of time, I think he spent a lot of time kind of observing the organization as well as the community. We spent time at the memorial up the road here. We talked a lot about the importance of the Thunder and the role it plays in the city and the state. And I think it really resonated with him because he's coming from a school at Murray State where basketball and the basketball program carries a larger cause as well. And we had great conversations about that. It really struck me how this concept resonated with him. It was really natural with him. And that was really
Randy Renner, NBA.com and InsideThunder.com. Sam has spoken about your court vision and the anticipation that you have, and a lot of the other stories that have been written about you talk about that as well. Is that just a natural ability that you have, or is that something that you've been able to work on over the years?
Honestly, that's a God-gifted ability. But I grew up in a household full of point guards. And my dad, he was the first point guard of us all, and he taught me very young, you got to get everybody involved. So I grew up being a team player, and that's all I know. So, me being able to see the court and things like that is God-gifted, but it's also I was taught at an early age.
Cameron, Curtis Fitzpatrick, Sports Animal. Russell has his own unique skill set as a point guard. you do as well. What can you take from his game, though, and the way he handles himself specifically when you move forward as a player?
Man, he's so explosive. I feel competing every day against him, he's gonna get me better. And he has one of the best mid-range games in the game right now. And that's some of the things I have to add to my game. Being explosive, I got to get more athletic, and working on my mid-range game, and trying to take less floaters and take more mid-range jump shots.
Barry Trammell with the Oklahoman. For those of us who've never been to Murray, Kentucky, tell us a little bit about the place and the basketball program and the basketball culture around Murray State.
First off, the city, it's a small city. It was about 5 miles, 5 miles long. But it's a small town where everyone knows everyone. And it really helped me a lot to always come in. I want to go get some food, and I know the person by name. And we have a tight relationship, and that's where it's ranked the friendliest city. It's ranked one of the friendliest city in America. So that tells you, man, that everyone's down there just want to get to know you, just want to know who you are, and just want to see you all the time and just have fun with you. And every time we had a basketball game, we really the only big time team at Murray, and when it was time for us to play, everyone came down to watch us play. And what's crazy is that it's similar down here in Oklahoma City, where when Oklahoma plays their game, everyone's coming to the game to watch them play. And Murray State, man, it has been the best thing I've done in my life. I'm so happy that I chose that school. Because, it made me grow as a man, and I learned so much there. And Coach Prom and their coaching staff and the players, they taught me a lot of things about life and made me a better person of who I am today.
If you had to narrow down maybe just to one word, as far as your biggest challenge for your rookie season, what would that be?
Time. Time, just because, I gotta come in and get better. I gotta be a better player, and it's a process. So I'm gonna be learning from some great players. So time's gonna make me better.
Anthony Slater with the Oklahoman. Your finger, I know it's kind of got a fracture right now. Where is that at, and do you have any hopes of playing in the summer league?
On Monday, we're going to see the physician, and we're going to have a lot more information about my process from there.
First, I think, as Sam spoke to, I think a great kid that, anytime you go up levels, whether going from high school to college to the NBA, is always going to be a transition period. And I think for him, he's got the resiliency and the perseverance and the character to really want to grow and get better. And I think he spoke to that as well. I think the biggest thing with him is he's got great vision. He really understands the position. He understands how to play. I didn't get a chance to see him play a lot, at Murray State, but I did have a chance to watch some film on him and had a chance to sit down and speak with him as well. And he's a very, very impressive kid.
When he was here for a day and a half, what did you guys connect on? He said that your stories were similar.
Well, his story is going to be a lot different than mine. Just the idea. I think going through a recruiting process when you're in high school. I didn't have a Division I scholarship offer until I think it was March or April. And clearly, with where he's at right now in his career, I think probably every college basketball program in the country would recruit him. So it was just interesting listening to him speak. Not to the point of having any bitterness or being upset or mad about that, but just the fact of he knew it was going to be a process that he was going to have to go through to grow and develop. And it was really encouraging to hear that, because I think in life it's about going through a process. I think our organization's about going through a process and continuing to build, and I think he fits all of those things. So there was some similarities that we were able to share and speak to in both of our experiences in life.
Coach, where are you at in your process?
It's been great. We're I've had a chance. I mentioned to Barry a little bit a while ago. It's the hotel to the facility, and watching film. Obviously, with the draft going on, there was a lot of college prospects that were coming through. There was a lot of players to meet, and Sam's staff and himself, they do an incredible job preparation-wise and what they do in terms of the amount of work and background work and their games and analytics. It's really impressive. So, it's been going good to be happy, hopefully, here in the end of July to have my family moved in. But right now, it's just been the draft and now getting ready for Summer League.
How close are you to finalizing your staff, assistant coach?
I think we're moving in a really positive direction. I've had some good conversations. Hopefully to in the very, very near future be able to get it completed. But I feel good about where we're at right now.
All right, that's Thunder basketball coach Billy Donovan. His thoughts on Cameron Payne. And Billy's got some transition to still work through as well as he moves to Oklahoma City and gets his family here, as he mentioned on the report. Tune in to Zach and my show this coming week. We'll no doubt talk about Cameron Payne and the new additions of the Oklahoma City Thunder as they move off to summer camp now. Those rosters are being set. We'll talk about that this coming week on the franchise. Zach, your thoughts about where the Oklahoma City Thunder need to go now? Free agency, get rid of more weight on the team money-wise. Where do you think they'll go?
I think they're set. I really do. There really wasn't a lot of holes to plug. Well, I think that it's probably arguable, the holes that they had to plug up. My interest, I don't think they'll do a lot of free agency stuff, but my interest now is, where does Cameron Payne fit? How did DJ Augustine take this? Cameron Payne seems like a very good player. How long will the transition be before we start to see minutes that used to be reserved for DJ Augustine now go to Cameron Payne? I think that'll be very interesting as we move towards the season.
All right, for Zach McCride, I'm David Garrett. Thanks for watching the Thunder Basketball Insider presented by Massengale Eye Care here on 107.7 The Franchise.